Fernando Alonso is a man known for his fire, his blistering speed and his tenacity. He's gone toe-to-toe with the biggest names in the history of the sport and had them on the back foot. He's rightly considered one of the greatest of all time, and his most memorable rivalries are as explosive as he is. Fernando Alonso versus Michael Schumacher, 2005 to 2006. Michael Schumacher and Fernando Alonso first crossed paths on the Formula 1 circuit in 2001. At that time, Schumacher was already a legend, having won 3 world titles and gunning for a 4th. On the other hand, Fernando Alonso was a young up-and-comer, enjoying his first season in Formula 1. After a sabbatical year in 2002 as Renault's reserve driver, he found himself in the Renault seat for the 2003 season. It was then that Alonso announced himself as a formidable competitor to the great Michael Schumacher. Over the 2003 season, he secured 4 podiums and finished 6th in the championship, beating his teammate Jarno Trulli by 25 points. But it was Alonso's first win at the Hungarian Grand Prix, where he lapped Schumacher, that truly put him on the legend's radar. The rivalry between Schumacher and Alonso really reached its peak during the 2005 and 2006 seasons. In 2005, Alonso stormed to the championship with a highly competitive Renault, leaving Schumacher struggling with a much less competitive Ferrari. Schumacher only managed to finish 3rd, with less than half of Alonso's points. Despite this, the two engaged in fierce battles, most notably at the San Marino Grand Prix, where Alonso managed to keep the German at bay to seal his 3rd straight win of the season. The 2005 San Marino Grand Prix, held on April the 24th at Imola, was a thrilling and defining race in the rivalry between Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher. Alonso, starting from pole position for Renault, led the race, while Schumacher, starting 13th due to a qualifying error, began a remarkable recovery. As the race progressed, Schumacher's superior Bridgestone tyres allowed him to close in on Alonso, particularly after the final pit stops. With about 12 laps to go, Schumacher caught up to Alonso, setting the stage for a tense battle. Despite having a slower car in the closing stages, Alonso's masterful defensive driving kept Schumacher at bay. The climax came in the final laps, with Schumacher trying multiple overtakes, particularly at the Variante Alta and Rivazza corners, but Alonso expertly defended his position. The race ended with Alonso holding off Schumacher by just 0.2 seconds, securing his 3rd win of the season. This victory not only extended Alonso's championship lead, but also showcased his composure, strategic thinking and defensive skills, solidifying his status as a top contender in Formula 1. The 2005 Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka, held on October the 9th, was an exciting and crucial race filled with strategic battles and notable overtakes. Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher, starting from 16th and 14th respectively due to challenging qualifying conditions, were both on a charge through the field. As the race progressed and the track dried, Alonso found himself closing in on Schumacher mid-race. The highlight came at the 130R corner, a notoriously fast and challenging left-hander. Demonstrating remarkable skill and bravery, Alonso overtook Schumacher on the outside, a move requiring precise control and immense courage given the high speeds and risk involved. This daring pass not only showcased Alonso's fearlessness, but also his exceptional racing instincts and car control, solidifying his reputation as a rising star in Formula 1. By 2006, Schumacher's Ferrari had improved, and the two found themselves fighting for the championship once again. They engaged in numerous on-track battles at the Bahrain, Turkish, French and Chinese Grands Prix. Both drivers won 7 races each throughout the season, but Alonso managed to seal the title, winning by 13 points. This led to some fiery exchanges, with Schumacher often accusing Alonso of being overly aggressive. Off the track, their rivalry was equally intense. Known for their outspoken personalities, neither was afraid to speak their mind. Schumacher often criticized Alonso, calling him arrogant and disrespectful. Alonso, in turn, accused Schumacher of being a poor sportsman and using underhanded tactics to win races. Despite their clashes, both drivers have expressed a great deal of respect for each other. Schumacher admitted that Alonso was one of the toughest competitors he ever faced, while Alonso acknowledged Schumacher as a true legend of the sport. Following the 2006 season, Schumacher announced his retirement, signaling an end to their incredible rivalry, or so we thought. In 2010, Michael Schumacher returned to the track with a new Mercedes team. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso was now driving for Ferrari. However, the Mercedes car simply wasn't competitive enough to challenge Alonso, and their once fierce rivalry never truly reignited. By 2012, Schumacher retired from the sport for good. The rivalry between Michael Schumacher and Fernando Alonso was truly one for the ages. It marked the end of Schumacher's 5-year dominance with Ferrari and heralded Fernando Alonso as a true great of Formula One. When fans think about the 2000s in Formula One, they instantly think of Schumacher versus Alonso, recalling their on-track battles where neither driver would give an inch and their fierce war of words away from the track. Looking back at the greatest rivalries in Formula One history, it's hard to disagree that this one is certainly a contender. Fernando Alonso versus Lewis Hamilton, 2007. Hamilton's debut season in Formula One was nothing short of dramatic. He partnered with two-time and defending world champion Fernando Alonso, and tensions quickly arose between the two drivers and their team McLaren. The first signs of discord appeared after Hamilton finished second behind Alonso at the 2007 Monaco Grand Prix. Hamilton's post-race comments hinted that he'd been forced into a supporting role, prompting the FIA to investigate whether McLaren had broken rules by enforcing team orders. McLaren denied favouring Alonso, and the FIA cleared the team, stating that McLaren had pursued an optimal team strategy due to their significant advantage over other cars without interfering with the race result. The rivalry intensified at the 2007 Hungarian Grand Prix. During the final qualifying session, Hamilton went out on track ahead of Alonso and ignored team requests to let him through. The two drivers had been alternating turns leading during qualifying, which was crucial due to the fuel load regulations in place. In response, Alonso blocked Hamilton in the McLaren pit, ensuring his teammate didn't have enough time to start his final run. The steward saw this as an instance of impeding and penalised Alonso for his actions, which certainly won't have helped the mood in the McLaren garage. Additionally, McLaren was penalised by the FIA, losing all Constructors' Championship points from the race. The incident highlighted the intense rivalry and lack of harmony within the team, as Alonso and Hamilton both sought to assert their dominance. As the 2007 season unfolded, the relationship between Hamilton and Alonso reportedly collapsed, with the pair not speaking for a time. Amid the turmoil, rumours swirled that Hamilton was being courted by Ferrari for a 2008 drive. The fierce rivalry fueled speculation that either Hamilton or Alonso would leave McLaren at the end of the season. Indeed, by November, Alonso and McLaren had mutually agreed to terminate their contract, ending the dramatic chapter of their time as teammates. In the years that followed, tensions between Hamilton and Alonso eased, and a mutual respect grew. By 2017, Alonso praised Hamilton, acknowledging his ability to win with cars of varying competitiveness, and later described him as one of the top 5 greatest drivers of all time. After Alonso's final race before his 2-year hiatus in 2018, Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel paid tribute to him by driving in formation and executing donuts on the start-finish straight. During their tumultuous time together, Hamilton and Alonso each won 4 of the 17 races in the 2007 season, with both securing 12 podium finishes. Hamilton qualified ahead of Alonso 10 times, while Alonso qualified ahead only 7 times. They ended the season tied on 109 points, with Hamilton placing second and Alonso third in the World Drivers' Championship, due to Hamilton having more second-place finishes. Despite their rocky past, Alonso admits he still has respect for the 7-time champion and relishes their continued battles on track. He acknowledged, "I have a lot of respect for him. At the end of the day, we met in our careers on a few occasions." Now, one of Alonso's biggest frustrations, however, had been his moves to teams that often led to disappointing results. His switch back to McLaren during their Honda partnership in 2015 ended disastrously, though he came close to titles with Ferrari between 2010 and 2012. Alonso noted that Hamilton was lucky to have made career moves and to have driven a dominant car for many years. "I still think he's one of the best drivers in the sport, and at the same time, he had the luck to have a very dominant car for many years," Alonso said. So when you have a dominant car for many years, Michael Schumacher won 7 titles, Hamilton won 7, Max Verstappen will win 3, let's say this year, and how many more we don't know. I won 2, and in F1, you always need the best car to win the championship. If Hamilton had any problem during those years in Mercedes, Valtteri Bottas would be 5 times world champion. Well, do you agree? Fernando Alonso versus Sebastian Vettel, 2010 and 2012. Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso shared some of the most elegant and intense wheel-to-wheel battles over the decade, engaging in some of the closest championship fights in Formula One history. In 2010, Fernando Alonso joined Ferrari. This period occurred with the rise of Sebastian Vettel and Red Bull Racing as a dominant force in Formula One. Vettel, a young and exceptionally talented driver, quickly became a formidable rival, clinching 4 consecutive world championships from 2010 to 2013. Alonso and Ferrari were often the closest competitors to Vettel and Red Bull, resulting in a fierce rivalry. The Alonso-Vettel rivalry was characterized by Alonso's relentless determination and Ferrari's strategic ingenuity, contrasted against Red Bull's technical superiority and Vettel's consistent excellence. This dynamic created some of the most intense and memorable battles of the era. Their rivalry peaked in 2012, and let me just tell you right now, these two loved running it close. The 2012 season kicked off with both Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso showcasing their prowess. At the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne, Vettel's Red Bull blazed with impressive speed, but it was Alonso's Ferrari that stole the show with a brilliant drive to second place. This early display hinted at the fierce battles to come, setting the stage for a season where Alonso's Ferrari will be constantly tested against Vettel's dominant Red Bull. Now, one of the season's defining moments unfolded at the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. Despite the Ferrari not being the fastest car on the grid, Alonso delivered a masterful performance to win on home soil. This victory was a testament to Alonso's exceptional driving and tactical acumen, as he outperformed Vettel, who finished a frustrating third. It was evident that Alonso was determined to seize every opportunity regardless of the car's limitations. The Monaco Grand Prix brought another thrilling chapter to their rivalry. On the narrow streets of Monte Carlo, Vettel's dominance throughout the weekend seemed unassailable, yet Alonso pushed him hard, finishing a strong second. The race really was a masterclass exhibition in Alonso's skill and his ability to challenge Vettel even on a track notoriously difficult for overtaking. The 2012 German GP was a crucial race in the tight championship battle. Alonso had taken pole position in wet qualifying conditions, showcasing his skill in challenging weather. During the race, he executed a masterclass in defensive driving, maintaining his lead despite pressure from Jenson Button and Vettel. Vettel finished second on track but was demoted to fifth due to an illegal overtake on Button, further emphasizing the intensity of the competition. Alonso's victory at Hockenheim was pivotal as it extended his championship lead and demonstrated Ferrari's capability to challenge Red Bull's dominance. The Italian Grand Prix at Monza was a high-octane battleground. Alonso's Ferrari was pushed to its limits in a dramatic race filled with blistering speed. Although Vettel emerged victorious, Alonso's impressive performance underscored his relentless pursuit of the championship. The season was evolving into a nail-biting contest, with both drivers giving everything to secure every crucial point. But it was the Brazilian Grand Prix at Interlagos that truly set the stage for a dramatic finale. Entering the race, Alonso trailed Vettel in the championship standings. The race was chaotic, with rain creating unpredictable conditions. Vettel had a disastrous start, dropping to the back after a first lap collision, while Alonso moved up the field. Despite the damage to his car, Vettel fought his way back through the pack. Meanwhile, Alonso capitalized on every opportunity, eventually finishing second behind Jenson Button. Vettel's sixth-place finish, however, was enough to secure his third consecutive world championship by just 3 points. Vettel had 281 points by the end, Alonso had 278. The race encapsulated the intense pressure and drama of the 2012 season, with Alonso narrowly missing out on the title despite a heroic effort. The rivalry between Alonso and Vettel was marked by numerous strategic battles. Ferrari, often lacking the outright pace of the Red Bull, relied heavily on strategic ingenuity and Alonso's exceptional racecraft. Alonso's ability to extract maximum performance from his car and make crucial overtakes kept him in contention throughout the season. Now, one of the key dramas of the 2012 season was the ongoing struggle between Ferrari's strategic acumen and Red Bull's technical supremacy. While Red Bull often had the faster car, Ferrari frequently outmaneuvered them with clever pit strategies and Alonso's consistent point-scoring finishes. The 2012 season was particularly notable for Alonso's near miss in the championship battle. Despite winning only 3 races, Alonso's consistency and ability to capitalize on every opportunity kept him in the hunt until the final race. His remarkable drive at Valencia, where he won from 11th on the grid, and his resilience in the face of multiple setbacks underscored his status as one of the sport's elite drivers. However, Red Bull's late season form, coupled with Vettel's remarkable performances, ultimately proved too much. The narrow margin by which Vettel clinched the title in Brazil highlighted the fine line between victory and defeat in Formula One. In the latter stages of their careers, driving for Alpine and Aston Martin respectively, Vettel and Alonso had a few more close encounters. However, none matched the intensity and significance of their duels during their prime years at Ferrari and Red Bull. He also had a few more notable rivalries, such as the one with Kimi in 2014. Alonso's final season at Ferrari in 2014 saw him paired with former world champion Kimi Raikkonen. While not as intense as some of his other rivalries, the partnership was notable for Alonso consistently outperforming Raikkonen. The 2014 season highlighted Alonso's consistent performance, despite Ferrari's uncompetitive car, leading to his decision to leave the team. His commitment to a new long-term deal with Aston Martin, which will keep him racing into his mid-40s, has garnered immense respect and admiration from his fellow Formula One drivers. Charles Leclerc said, "It's difficult to imagine myself in 15 or 18 years' time still in F1. However, we can definitely see how motivated Fernando still is and how high of a level he's still performing at the moment. And this is what matters at the end. Age is a number." Even Lewis Hamilton has called him his greatest ever rival, and he's arguably the best driver of all time. Alonso, who first graced the F1 circuit back in 2001, is set to continue his career through at least the 2025 and 2026 seasons, as he aims to add to his impressive tally of 22 pole positions, 106 podiums, 32 wins, and 2 world titles. So, who do you think Alonso's greatest rival was? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Formula Royale for the best F1 content. Bye for now.